Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the Winter 2026 match, map rando match between Eddie and Path. I believe this is a upper gold bracket match, and this is a big deal because whoever wins here continues going forward in the upper gold bracket, and whoever falls short here ends up going to the lower gold bracket. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the 2026 Winter Map Rando Super Metroid Tournament. I'm very excited to bring you this match here. I am Bastion Blue. We have Rubu as our tracker, the wonderful Rubu as our tracker. And sitting here to my right is my wonderful and amazing friend, Harley Hart.
Hi. Yeah. I think this is a pretty exciting match because, as we all know, whoever moves on is going to face Nevdi in the next race for the top bracket. And our racers today have picked random objectives. It looks like Golden Chorizo and Ridley are the two selected objectives. And Metroid rooms seem to be the randomly selected ones. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, definitely. So we have Path here. Path is an exceptional map rando player. I like to call Path the D100 master and the eternal rival of our mutual friend Leo Treens. And Eddie, of course, is the Mesquite hitbox champion over here.
The Mesquite Elite.
The Mesquite Elite. Thank you.
You know, right, fun fact, I actually got a chance to see the Mesquite Elite in person and got to try out the hitbox, and I'm a changed person after touching that thing.
Oh my god, I couldn't imagine. They some say that it is the holy grail of controllers or control-related objects for gaming. The Mesquite Elite, yes. So very excited about this match. Harley, Eddie, and Path are both friends of mine, and we're gonna get into this. We're gonna do a little bit of jaw jacking. We're gonna have a little bit of fun, and it's gonna be a good time. So, we've got a random objectives match here. There was a little bit of technical issues, I think, over on Path's end first, but it looks like it's already been resolved. Thank you, SGL. So we've got Ridley here as an objective. That is an objective Eddie chose. I'd say that's a pretty strong choice from Eddie. I imagine Eddie probably feels very, very confident. What was the other objective that Path chose, Harley?
It was Golden Chorizo. This start has been interesting. We started in bowling, and as we all saw, the map is blocked by Fantoonthe, which I think Fantoonthe is kind of always an objective, no matter what mode you play, given their unique aspect of locking off the map. So I think if you want an easier random objective pick, you can pick Fantoonthe, but if you want to make more work for everyone, I think banning Fantoonthe or just not picking him is a pretty good play.
Yeah,
and in my opinion, I think Ridley is like the great equalizer of randomizer because Mother Brain's not too difficult of a finish, but I think Ridley's a big gatekeeper of. He's a big skill check for a lot of players, me included.
Yeah, Ridley is definitely a huge skill. I mean, Ridley's going to be a monster no matter what speedrun category you're playing, no matter what map rando seed you're playing. I mean, Ridley is just going to be a monster, Rubu, I have not seen which Metroid room it was.
It looks like Eddie's going to Fantoonthe early. Oh, bailing out.
Ooh,
decided against it.
Ooh, okay. Interesting here.
So Path failed early
to bail on Fantoonthe.
I just realized I'm looking at the feeds backwards. Never mind. Path was in Fantoonthe's.
I was a little confused there, but that's okay.
Sorry, I don't know why I thought Eddie was on the left, but
that's okay. That's okay. It's kind of funny though. I was confused because I was just like, am I looking at it wrong?
No, it's just the quality you're gonna get.
Nah, you're good. You're good. You're good. Let's see. So Dragon, thank you, Rubu. Dragon has been confirmed. Rubu has confirmed that Dragon is the
Oh,
fourth objective, and that's important to point out too that Dragon was an objective that the game chose for us. Ooh, Batoon here. That is actually one of the objectives that PAF banned. So to see Batoon here pretty early, I'm sure PAF was like, nah, I'm getting out of here.
Acid Chozo is also the third objective, which is an interesting one because it's going to require a good deal of resources or Varia. And then movement to get back, I think you can get a little less get away with less resources, but if they have to go down after, which I think you need like space jump and or a few other items, but yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. Because you do spend quite a bit of time in that room, on the Chozo statue and everything. So you have to have a lot of E-tanks, you have to have Varia, you also have to worry, like you said, the movement it takes to get over there. Path peeking north there, but deciding to turn back around. Looks like Path is wanting to refill on power bombs. That's not a bad idea right now. Eddie is just, going full send and deciding to go in there with 2.
Interestingly, Paf does have an extra E-tank over
That is
Eddie.
true. I must have missed where that happened, but without Fantoonthe being defeated, this room is a whole lot easier. We have both of our runners with reserve tanks now, so they both have some leeway in some heated rooms. But our runners here about 5 minutes in, they don't really have a whole lot here. Just 2 missiles, 1 reserve, 1 power bomb, and 1. I was about to say 1 super, and then Paf was like, no. I think that was just more of a check for Paf because Paf really couldn't get out of there.
Right.
Unless you want to, pull a first try Harley and just, get out there with not needing high jump boots.
Well, I think the doors are locked and there's no way to kill the pirates right now.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for staying on top of me on that one. I forgot. I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, that's the bigger issue. Not the hyper
that
jump.
is the bigger issue. Thank you.
Now, if Paf wanted to style in Eddie, he could have tried hypo jumping out instead of resetting, but
yes.
Not everyone is as brave as others.
Both of our runners have picked up Spring Ball now. Yes, the luxury item, harkening back to the old arcade days of the SM community. I think about a year or 2 years ago. I don't know. What is time, Harley? I don't even know anymore.
Well, I wasn't here a year ago, so I couldn't answer either of those questions.
Right. So, okay. Interesting. We've got we got a safety save over here from Eddie. I missed if Paf was getting it. Ooh, okay. Paf during a heated room here, but falls in the lava and decides to reset. I'm glad that Paf took that same save that Eddie did. I think it's a very smart save at this point too. I don't know, Harley, what are your impressions of this seed right now? We're only 7.5 minutes in, but I'm feeling like we're seeing a whole lot here that might, play into the rest of the game.
Yeah, it definitely seems like an interesting layout. I always feel like random objectives kind of throws progression into the air. And that could just be me. I only have a few random objectives under my belt, but I think given the requirements to resources could be potentially fairly low, it feels like there's a slower start than like a normal map rando.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a slower start, and you have to think about the game in a very, very different way because, you don't have to kill Fantoonthe, you don't have to kill Kraid. There's now bosses that you don't have to do. Now, granted, 2 of those bosses that you would normally have to do are here in our objectives, but random objectives does force you to think about the game differently. It does force you to think about like what items you need in a dramatically different way than just a standard map rando seed. will, show you, will present to you. And we're getting a lot of heated rooms here. We're getting a lot of
Yeah, so I think this extra E-Tank path house is definitely paying dividends over Eddie. However, Eddie I feel like
definitely.
has a lot of clean movement, and one thing he prides himself on is having a strat for every room, which I imagine a lot of top runners do, but I feel like he really makes it show.
Right. Eddie's movement is very strong. His decision making is very strong too. I will say though that we've got a the extra E tank is definitely helping Path out. I think Eddie was probably more confident with like this amount of resources. I mean, if anybody's going to be confident with like nothing when it comes to playing this game, it's going to be Eddie. I mean, nobody uses pause strats like Eddie does. And I do want to point out something too. Um, Nito in chat has pointed out a very excellent observation here that is very wild under these circumstances. Harley, we've seen all four. We've seen 4 regions in 10 minutes. That is that's a whole lot to happen in 10 minutes with just this low of items that have been picked up here.
Yeah, and we did
It's
have an unfortunate death from Path trying to get back down, so he does have to re-get Grav here.
right. Ooh, this is a very dangerous graph to get after, the name of this room, which I don't know the name of this room, but this is the pre-pillar spark room or the pillar spark room, if you want to call it that. I mean, this is I have a lot of negative things to say about this room as an 80% runner. This room is very annoying to me.
Yes.
This room is responsible for many a PB paces from old Bastion Blue here going under. So, but this room being next to a heated room, another heated room, Harley, is really tough. Path is definitely struggled a little bit here to grab this. But is this the third time, Harley?
I believe this is the second.
Second time Path has gone for it. Okay. Well, Path has still got it now because Path is a pro and Path is making this happen. So Path has escaped all of that mess and is now on mostly equal footing with Eddie, I think.
Eddie did just go back and get that E-Tank now, so I believe they're matched up on items currently, so seems like we're
Right.
pretty neck and neck.
Ooh, I'm sure Eddie was wishing for that tank a little bit earlier, but they're even now. So it's definitely any person's game about 11 and a half minutes in. Path is in Norfair. Eddie's in Brinstar. Well, Path has gone back to Brinstar. What was the last major item we picked up? It was Gravity.
Gravity.
So
I would say I imagine Eddie skipped that item. Knowing a little bit about Eddie and the way he decision chains things is not having Grav getting that item is probably just too slow for him. And then now that he got it, he probably went to go check it.
Definitely. I saw Eddie waving his finger around in the air just a moment ago, and there's the Coca-Cola. Oh, Eddie taking a food break here. You love to see it. Hey, I get it. You got to refuel before your Fantoonthe fight. Also, I'm kind of jealous because that looked like some really good food, and I'm snowed in right now, so there's nothing I can do about it. We're just stuck with what I have. My husband and I are stuck with whatever we have in the fridge.
That is unfortunate. There's a big snowstorm going across the U.S. right now. But looks like we're both on Fantoonthe. Similar resources. Well, let's see who gets a better pattern.
We got a slow pattern for Path. I must have missed what. Ooh, dang, Eddie. Oh, that's tough. Eddie is really great at Dopplering, especially those air Dopplers, but it's easy to miss an air Doppler just because of how just sensitive that movement is. Okay? And it's one thing to do. These runners are also doing Fantoon without supers. Oh, I can see Eddie shrugging there. It happens. It happens. These runners are both, it's worth pointing out, these are both top runners here. These are top rando players here. They're exceptionally good at killing Fantoon, no matter what strat they're going for. Oh no! Eddie, no! The shame, the no thanks emote. Eddie takes out Fantoon, Path takes out Fantoon. I just want to point out, as somebody that's put a lot of work into Fantoon with no supers is going to be really hard. Because unless your stutter dopplers are really good, you're gonna have a really bad time trying to take Fantoon out in 2 rounds or lower. And both of our runners only have 2 missile tanks, so that's not a lot of wiggle room to take out Fantoon, even if you have good stutter dopplers. So this is that's a tough fight. That is a tough fight. Fantoon is gonna be hard with that little resources. And high jump, of course, makes a difference when fighting Fantoon, because high jump, of course, allows you to jump over Fantoon and avoid him a lot easier. So,
one thing I do think that's like underappreciated in the lower Fantoon kills as well is the strategy around leaving missile drops up and then slowly collecting them over time, kind of like how you do with BT in the normal run, where you're just like constantly shooting a few, then re-grabbing them and shooting a few, just to make sure you can Doppler longer per each round.
Right. Welcome everybody in from SG3. We are in round 1 of Path versus Eddie. We have random objectives here is our category. We haven't picked up a lot of majors yet, but our runners just picked up Charge a minute ago, so they have a lot less resources in terms of ammunition to worry about now. Both runners have picked up supers for the first time in this seed. 16 minutes in. It took that long to get to supers, which is crazy. Ridley is our objective. Dragon is our objective. What are our other 2 objectives, Harley?
What are they?
What are our other 2 objectives, Harley?
Golden Chorizo and Acid Chorizo, or Acid Statue? I don't know the official name.
Acid Chozo statue.
Chozo.
I don't know what the colloquial name is, but it's the Acid Chozo. But thank you, Harley, for covering me because I forgot what the other 2 objectives are. Thank you.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't believe we've seen them on the map yet, unless I've missed them. I'm very bad at finding the Chozo objectives in random objectives, so I very much could have just missed them.
Path picking up Wave here. Both of our runners are in Meridia. I don't know if Eddie's going to go for that major yet. I imagine it looks like he is. He's probably not going to be too happy with it, but I don't know. Charge and Wave I think is a pretty cool combination. I always like when I have Wave. I know that Wave is not necessary for item progression. It is not. But it does let you get through blue doors or blue gates quicker. It does give you X factor. So it does give you beam power bomb strats, but it's not necessarily necessary for progression. I think my friend Nito told me in our training session a little while back that the beams, of course, are considered filler items by the logic of the game. So, but I think that Wave is a nice thing to have, and of course it's still an early major, so I think any major at this point is going to be very important to have. So let's see.
I also think given they got Charge early, I think each beam kind of makes doing a beam seed or making it a beam seed a little more appetizing, just because it'll speed up every fight each beam you get, as opposed to because their missile counts are still fairly low. It's pretty early in the match still, but if they just start getting every X becomes power bombs, you're gonna start thinking more and more that maybe a beam kill for the bosses is the way to go.
Right. I think it's worth pointing out too that this, we have not seen a lot of supers yet, so this could be a low super seed. So our racers might be thinking about like looking for beams now.
Yeah, Path just
Especially
spotted
considering that
ice here, so
half spots ice, that's huge. So the reason why that's huge, everybody, is that with Ice Beam, now we have a situation where Path has to worry about Zebetite skipping a lot less than Eddie. Eddie does not have a way to Zebetite skip yet. Now, so Eddie is probably thinking about ice in the back of his mind. He could be thinking about speed boots in the back of his mind, but as a solution to getting past the Zebetites. But this is definitely starting to look like a low ammo seed, Harley, which, it can definitely pose a problem. We have not seen a lot of supers yet, or at least accessible supers.
yeah.
Let's save here. Okay. Okay.
I believe they've deviated pretty significantly on their routing now at this point.
Right, right. Path is going deeper into Norfair.
And Eddie's
Looking for
heading to
the
Bryn
Norfair
now.
map. Okay, so we're gonna get our first look at the Norfair map, everybody. I see one major at the bottom. Ooh, that is huge. We have spotted one of our objectives here in Norfair. This is knowledge that Eddie does not have. Yes, thank you. It is the GT. Ship is also in Norfair as well. Thank you, Rubu. The wonderful Rubu is our tracker. Thank you, Rubu, for backing Harley and I up and helping us out here. Yeah, this is knowledge, Harley, that Path now has.
Ooh, so Eddie's opting to fight Batoon, but messed up the X Factor setup, so this is going to eat into the time and missiles, so... Okay,
This is tough. This is tough.
Not too
Eddie
bad.
not too bad. Eddie still makes quick work of Batoon because Eddie is just, is one of the goats at the game, and so of course Eddie's going to make quick work of Batoon, but it's still, it still is a slowdown, but Eddie's got a plan. I know Eddie does. He's looking for something in Brinstar. I can only fathom that it's probably the map. So yeah, I'm wondering too, Rubu, is the major at the bottom of Norfair, is it going to be movement or Varia? I guess it looks like, yeah, Path is looking like Path is going to go for it. It could be Varia or it could be movement. I mean,
Place your bet,
Varia,
Beth. What do you think that item's going to be?
Oh, I am going to take
speed.
a stab and say it's...
Oh, well.
I was going to say Varia, it's plasma. Okay. The rude plasma, okay. But at this point, even though if plasma is rude and out
I don't
of the
think
way,
that's rude at all. I think that just Path has every beam now, so I think he's pretty much set for the rest of the seed.
I think so. Yeah, that's a good point, Harley. That is a very good point here. It's worth pointing out that Eddie does have one more super than Path. I'm not sure if that's going to play a lot into here because, Eddie, they both have charge now, but Path is getting a lot of majors here. And like Harley, like you said, with a full beam loadout, this is the full KPDR beam loadout here. I mean, I'm sure, Path's a pro, just like Eddie. Path is a pro. I'm sure Path is, got Ridley in the bag at this point. It just takes 20 shots with a KPDR loadout. And, I'm not, honestly, I think Path might be approaching go mode here, Harley. What do you think about that? I mean, I think with
I wouldn't dare touch the topic of go mode, so I think Path's in a really good spot, and I believe having all beams puts GT kind of in logic with the equipment he currently has, so
right.
I wonder if he's gonna go for it. I don't quite have the map laid out in my head due to their very small pause times, but I think
I think Path
He might be looking
might
to head
be.
towards PC.
I think Path might be close. I think Path is closer to go mode than Eddie right now, but this is dangerous. Oh, I
That
don't know
is
when
an
the last
unfortunate
speed
slip.
was. Oh, yeah. If Path is going to hit go mode here before Eddie, Path is going to need, I mean, essentially just an E-tank, I think. I would be more comfortable with Path having an E-tank or two. But, I mean,
What's Eddie gonna find here? Grapple. I'm sure he's happy
Path,
about that one. Eddie has
yeah.
15 supers now, so it looks like he might be going for an ammo kill.
Ooh. I think Path can definitely take out. I think that Path can definitely perform all of these objectives right now. Not considering the shape of the map, but like, oh, Path is going for this with no reserves. Everybody hold. Everybody hold for Path. This is so dangerous. I don't know if I like this, Harley, but I appreciate the gall here. Ooh. Okay.
X-ray to me at this point, just with Dragon as an objective, if I'm Path, I'm thinking, okay, that'll speed up the Dragon fight a lot quicker now than it was originally going to be without the ammo.
That's a good point. You also don't have to deal with as much chances of getting hurt by Dragon. You can kind of just take Dragon out, and it's like nothing. But GT is still a big deal. GT is still one of our bosses that we have to defeat. So Path is definitely less worried about Dragon, but I mean GT is going to be a hard fight still. I mean Path has definitely got the full beam loadout's going to help for sure, but you still need a lot of health to survive the heated room. I'm wondering where Varia could be. I guess only time will tell. But I was.
Looks like Eddie's going to grab ice now. Based on the map, he peeked it earlier. I must have missed that. I'm curious what his next plan is going to be.
Yeah, I still think Path is closer to go mode, but like I'm just not even sure at this point. I think the biggest thing that I'm concerned about for both of these runners is just, I don't know. I would want more E-tanks for both of them before. I think if I was in this, I would want another E-tank, and I think maybe at this point I might assume that Varia is just not in the cards for this seed. But that being said, Path and Eddie are incredible players. I feel like they're going to be far more comfortable at, with lower energy in the face of like, GT and Ridley, but it's still a tough one.
They also need more E-tanks to survive Rainbow Beam at this point, but I imagine given that there's more objectives to be completed, they're probably going to pick up the required E-tanks on the way. Oh, is Pat going to ice clip here? Yeah.
Oh, Harley, this is exciting. We're getting an ice clip from Path.
This could be Varia. This is a good gamble here.
Okay, Eddie, 27 minutes in, is getting access to the Norfair map, sees two majors. Of course, we've already seen this map because Path has located this map already. He sees the ship, he sees the objective. So Eddie is currently working on a plan here, currently devising some kind of plan. Path is working on an ice clip. Welcome everybody from SG4. We hope that y'all enjoyed the match going on at SG4. We are in the middle of round 1 for a Path versus Eddie. This is a random objectives match. Our random objectives that have been chosen and selected for us are Ridley, Golden Chorizo, Dragon, and Acid Chozo. It's been a really interesting match. A lot of low resources in the early game, but Path just picks up speed boots. Well, that's that. Ooh, and another reserve that's gonna help.
Eddie can make up some time here if the clip is quicker. Um, Ironically, Path didn't use X-ray in the end because he got the correct setup without X-ray when he finally got the clip. So that was kind of funny. Eddie
Yeah.
spent no time doing that one, so he definitely gained a little bit of time back since they're on the same path, kind of following each other right now.
Mm. If I were to do that, Harley, I would actually need to not ice. I would actually need to X-ray climb up there because I can't ice skip right there. But I am not these two runners here. Path and Eddie are exceptional at this game, and they actually can do a ton of stuff that I can't.
I actually learned that B-Tom clip from watching Eddie, and I don't know how to do it with the X-ray, so I don't know how to do any tricks with X-ray, which is I don't know, says something about me, I guess.
No, it doesn't say anything. It just I think it's really cool that you can do that. I specifically learned a lot of X-ray tech a while ago because I had considered doing after any percent KVR, I considered doing
Ooh, those are big
ooh,
supers. I believe Path skipped those, probably due to HP concerns.
ooh, yeah. I
Ooh,
mean,
getting double hit here is a little
mm,
stressful.
it's stressful, but Eddie's got this. Eddie's got this. Yeah, Eddie's got this. Okay, okay, okay. We can all breathe easier for Eddie now.
I think
Or
one of the
can
most
we?
stressful moments in map randomizers is when you're going through a heated room and your HP's low and you get through the room and you're like, okay, I have time to breathe. And then the next room is just another heated room.
Right, right. That's why you have to be exceptionally good at utilizing your reserves and utilizing pause tactics and stuff. Eddie, I think, has pretty much caught back up to Path. I believe Eddie's headed towards GT right now. Path annihilating GT, even with the strat of backing up Path against the door, utilizing that strat. That's something that we see in a lot of hundo runs. I know I had to work on when I was doing hundo. I had to make sure that I got my backing up back. I'm tripping over my words. Sorry.
No, you're
Backing up
okay.
GT to the wall. Yeah.
Back it up.
Yeah. I had to get GT to back it up. I had to get GT to back it up. Eddie's getting GT to back up. I'm tripping over my words here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just really excited here. Path and Eddie are both friends of mine, so I'm happy to see both of them, in this race and stuff. And it's been very exciting. It's very exciting. We are in round 1. We're seeing our first objective tackled here right now by Eddie. Path, of course, took GT out just a moment ago.
Eddie's
Dang.
definitely surviving this because GT just died, but that was a lot slower due to not having all the beams and a little bit sketchier due to the time in the heated room. So,
oh my gosh, Harley! Eddie is going to give me a heart attack here, living on the edge, utilizing those pause strats with the reserve tank. It's unreal. It honestly is. I saw so many times where Eddie got to 1 HP or 0 HP and just still made it. Still made it. Unbelievable. I'm flabbergasted here, as some might say. Flabbergasted.
I think a fun thing with watching Eddie's cam right now is his emotions did not change at all during that entire fight. I feel like he was just calm and collected the entire time, and I believe that's just the thing with the higher skilled runners, or maybe Eddie just froze his camera to not show his emotions in the fight, but we'll see.
We'll see. I know that I don't know. With a lot of heated rooms back to back like this, it gets very stressful. I know if I were in this situation, I would be like panicking. It's something to point out here, Harley, which is really interesting, is that Path vetoed Batoon. And Eddie was just like, well, why the Batoon hate? What's the deal, and both of our racers here have actually had to fight Batoon now, which is really funny. But that's partly because, just, Batoon was just in the way. I just think it's funny because they've had to, because they vetoed Batoon. This is very funny. They've had to fight him anyway. Okay, we getting a map for Wrecked Ship. I saw a major up there, Harley.
There
I
was two
couldn't.
majors. Path skipped wreck ship entirely, so if Eddie doesn't go for these, this is... Okay, so Eddie's gonna choose to reset here and think it's not worth his time, which makes sense given... I believe he has everything he needs to finish the game.
Right.
So
So Eddie foregoing 2 majors in wrecked ship, which I think goes to show you that Eddie is, feels confident here in his decision making. To just sacrifice 2 majors like that. But I mean, honestly, you know, one of those majors could be Varia. We don't know, but I think Eddie has definitely proven to us here that and to the world that Eddie don't need Varia. Eddie don't need Varia. Varia needs him. Eddie can make do with just 2 reserves and be out just fine. I do think Ridley is going to be tough though. But with the 30 super layout here, Eddie's
oh, now
gonna
Path is going
melt
to wreck
Ridley
ship,
quick.
so it looks like they're just trading order around, because if we remember earlier, Eddie did fight Batoon already and check those items up top.
Right, Eddie said, I'm not trapped in here with this heat's trapped in here with me.
So let's see what Path does. I wonder if Path's gonna plan to reset here or go for these majors. I'm kind of curious.
Right, Emmett. Ridley is free here with Eddie for 30 supers. That's what I was kind of thinking. I think for, a lot of folks, it would be tough or close to the edge, but with 2 reserves, I'm sure Eddie's is going to be fine for Ridley. Harley, do you
We'll
think
use
Eddie
Emmett's numbers of a 2% chance of dying there on Ridley for the Edster.
2% chance of dying for the Edster. We'll have to see if the Edster can handle it.
Yeah, because, there's a non-zero possibility.
Let's see. Yeah, it could happen. Path opting for the major up here.
That's a disappointing find there at this point in the match.
Uh-oh, the 2%er. Oh, I'm sure Path is not happy about bombs. I imagine, it does seem like Path is still looking for majors, and I wonder if Path is looking for high jump, or maybe Spazer. Could be Spazer to deal with Ridley a little bit easier. Could be Varia. I imagine Path is probably looking for Varia. Well, Spacer makes Ridley a lot easier because you can just spin jump through Ridley and not, tank hits from Ridley. Of course.
Wait, you mean screw attack?
Did I say Spazer?
You said Spazer.
Okay, I meant screw attack. Okay, so okay. I don't have an excuse there.
I was like half trying to look for the downgrade beam.
Spazer, the jack of all trades, right? Okay, so there's something that my brain does. I'm thinking about a sentence that I'm about to say, and I see an object that's unrelated to that sentence, and then I replace one word, usually a noun, with the object that I'm looking at that has nothing to do with me. This is just an embarrassing thing about me. Anybody that's...
No, I do similar things, I understand. So Eddie is taking a save here. I did not see this objective. I believe this is acid. Okay, it's acid. Whatever. Chozo. Acid statue. So this is going to be a little tricky to get to because I don't think they have the easiest equipment to get across.
I'm sorry, Harley. I'm cracking up over here.
All right, so we've lost Bastion for a little bit.
Will Spazer do my taxes? Well, Spazer is it's just the best item. It really is. Sorry, y'all. My brain just does weird things sometimes.
Yeah, I am curious on Eddie's thought process of getting this room here, considering Mother Brain is close, so this is an easy objective to throw away and save for later. And this would be his 3rd or 4th reset on trying this. He looked like he was going to leave the previous attempt, but I believe he's getting into a little sunk cost fallacy here and really wants to get this now.
Well, if he does get this now, it'll give him an advantage over Eddie, in terms of the amount of stuff, objectives that they've accomplished. It is a risky play here. I see Emmett has said that Path has actually grinded this with reserve, so Path knows what he's doing here. I think it's definitely you know, it's definitely a brave call here. It's definitely a brave thing to Path to do. It's got a lot of gall in that decision. I respect it, definitely.
Wait,
It's gonna
what's
be tough
Path
though.
doing?
Going up against Ridley and stuff.
Okay.
Eddie, not Path. Okay, I'm sorry, Emmett.
Yeah, we were talking about Eddie going for acid statues or whatever it's called.
Right. I thought Emmett was talking about Path. Sorry.
No, you're
Okay.
good because yeah, the whole point is this is like very close to the end of the game already, so it's like not that big of a detour for how much of a struggle it's being, and Eddie's gonna have to come back here for Mother Brain at the end anyway. So it looks like he farmed up and has enough here. But at what cost?
What cost? I
It
guess we'll
seems
find
like
that out.
Path might have. Okay, no, Path's going back to Ridley.
Okay, Eddie taking a lunch break here. Oh, Eddie's reserves are all spent. I mean, Eddie's okay. Eddie's okay. Eddie does get the chorizo though, but of course, Eddie makes it through. Eddie makes it through here. All right, everybody hold for Path.
I feel like fighting Ridley under a competition setting has to be really stressful, especially with how difficult Ridley is as a fight in general.
Okay. Path opting to use a full reserve right now.
Okay.
Ooh, this is gonna. Okay, Path's got it. Path's got it. Path's got enough reserves to get through this. Awesome. You'll love to see it. This is a pro move here for Path. I respect it. It's got a lot of gall. It's a decision, with a lot of strength to it. I respect that. That looks cool.
I would say at this point I would consider Path slightly ahead due to the acid statue fiasco that Eddie kind of dealt with previously there while he was getting this fight. But Eddie can definitely make some time back up by just one-shotting Ridley.
Yeah, with 30 supers and 2 reserves, Eddie's gonna make quick work of Ridley. I'm not sure where Path is making a save right here, going up. Huh. Okay. I believe Path is looking for the map. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like Path might have overlooked the acid chozos. She might realize now.
Have we seen Kraid yet? Harley,
I believe Dragon is in the same area. Yeah, because Eddie's fighting Dragon now.
I meant to say Dragon. I said Kraid. God, I did it again.
No, I know what you meant. That's why I answered how I did.
Thank you. Okay, we have seen Dragon. Yes.
Looks like Eddie's opting for the PRKD opener. I guess he doesn't have beams.
Good opener though. Little tougher to do without high jump boost because you don't have the vertical height, but Eddie makes quick work of Dragon anyway.
No spike suit.
No spike suit. Eddie opting to keep the blue suit and going back up, which is a pro level move right there to think about, to remember to do that. I do want to point out that, part of the struggle of Map Rando is remembering to do the things that you need to do. Eddie saving that spark to just get up into the top right corner. Without that...
going to criteria here definitely is screaming like a bit of an overlook. So I think this is just being bleeding time until he checks maps again and realizes that he knows where the last few objectives are.
Yeah, I think Path had a lead for a minute, but this overlook, I think, is gonna cost, Path here, and I think an overlook is I think it's easy for it to happen sometimes, especially in the stress of a race setting. I think Eddie's gonna just continue, pulling further ahead. It's possible that Path might, change his mind on something, but with only one objective left, which is Ridley, I think Eddie is starting to pull ahead. I think Eddie is
I
pulled ahead
think,
here.
yeah, I think Eddie's going straight to Ridley, back to Mother Brain, and this is kind of
Yeah.
a done deal for Eddie over here. So Path looks pretty convicted, or setting his convictions on exploring criteria. So this is probably, unfortunately, okay, well, map's here, so he'll probably notice now. Um, maybe coping a little bit. Have we've seen ship? Never mind. I was gonna say maybe ship's in here and you won't have to blind escape, but I think this is pretty much
Oh,
the nail in the
criteria
coffin,
shows us
unfortunately.
nothing but one major. Kraid is,
Eddie.
of course, here, but Kraid is a non sequitur. Um, this is looking like some boxing.
Yeah, I think Path's really upset now at this point. Finally checking the maps and realizing.
Yeah, we don't have a cam for Path, but I imagine that Path is probably feeling pretty frustrated here. I think it does show in Path's movement. This is tough. This is tough because what could have led to this was maybe race nerves, or just the heat of the moment of making all of these decisions. Map random's tough. You get some seeds that are you, the logical steps are very sequential. You get are very linear, and then you get some which are more hub based, and you get some which are more puzzly. It's hard to make these decisions under pressure, and overlooks happen. Mistakes
Es-
happen, and I think that's kind of what
Especially
we're seeing here with Path.
especially with random objectives, because as a normal map rando player, all of the boss rooms are typically the objectives, and they're fairly large, and they're all filled with X's, except for Fantoonthe. But you're gonna know where Fantoonthe is due to the map. So when that suddenly shifts, where there's multiple big rooms, but only a single X is shaded in due to it just being where the Chozo statue is, I feel like really affects your ability to identify them quickly, especially in a match, a tournament setting. So. That being said, Path does have the advantage of microwaving Dragon and acid statues being right next to Mother Brain, so there is a chance that he can come back if he plays
Ooh,
efficiently.
okay. Eddie missing one super here. I think it's not gonna matter too much. I mean, Eddie's got 35 supers. We have another missed super, but honestly, another missed super, but it doesn't really matter
He can
that
miss
much.
10, correct?
Uh,
Is Ridley 25 supers?
I thought Ridley was 30, but I
I
think
thought Mother Brain was 30 and Ridley was 25, but maybe I'm just wrong.
yeah, we're
30. Okay,
30,
I'm just wrong.
No,
That explains
you're
why my Ridleys never die at 25. So, you learn something new every day.
18,000 damage for both.
Hey, there's a reason I went 0-6 in this tournament, and I really hope to have a better showing next time. So
You will, I promise you. Also, I'd like to point out, counting in Super Metroid is hard. Counting in Super Metroid is hard.
yes,
Path gonna take out Dragon here using a X-ray microwave kill. You love to see it. It's always really exciting to see that. Just because I don't know, I'm such a sucker for X-ray tech in Super Metroid. I don't know if that makes me weird or not, but I love to see it.
I think it does. I think X-ray is a vile piece of equipment.
Okay, well, beggars can't be choosers, and to each their own. And some people like the cucumbers better when they're pickled. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. Every yin needs a little yang, and I think that might be X-ray for us. So
Exactly. Anyway.
So it looks like Eddie is farming a bit up. Obviously for Mother Brain, I'm sure Eddie's plan is just get the kill, get out. Path does have to do the Chozo statue still, which is going to eat into his HP, and I don't think there's a quick refill near him, so...
This is a really rough farm here. I mean...
Yeah, the crowd is not enjoying what Eddie's doing with the farm here, but I think it ain't much, but it's honest work, so...
It's honest living. Is Eddie the farmer? Let's see.
Path's going for baby skip. No, both players are playing very well right now. This is
both players are playing very well right now. We may be memeing a little bit, but both players are playing very well right now. I can safely say that both players would finish this seed a lot faster than I would. Okay,
so there was a refill right next to baby skip, so that's
Okay.
good for Path. Eddie is entering Mother Brain now. I think
yeah,
this is gonna be...
This is it right here. This is it right here. Path is getting acid Chozo right now, but it's just too late. I mean...
Yeah, so I do think the delving, the overlook of acid Chozo room, plus the little delving into criteria for a bit, really set Path behind. He made up a good deal of time, I would say, but it might not be enough.
Right. Path gets the acid Chozo, drains the acid from the room and leaving. I think it's just too late, though. So I think the best way to sum it up here, I think, from Path's what happened here with Path is that I think that there was some overlooks on the objectives. Maybe some mismatching on the decision making, which is okay, it happens. But there was also, going to criteria. I think that criteria look and going for the criteria map cost Path a lot of time. And, it's unfortunate for Path. I'd be interested in
Path's route right now, though, is showing why Eddie's decision to do acid statues earlier was a little bit of a confusing choice, because there's a refill right next to it. It's right next to Mother Brain, so you can get the refill right before going in, get the refill right out, and then head straight to Mother Brain.
Oh no. Path suddenly realizes, even after getting the first Zebetite skip, that he doesn't have enough ammunition to get Mother Brain out of the phase 1. Oh,
that is unfortunate.
That has got to feel so bad. I'm really feeling for Path right now. That is very unfortunate. Oof. Path scanning the map right now, just looking for any good refill rooms, maybe a refill and ammo refill station. That's unfortunate. Again, Harley, we talk about how map Rando is tough. It is so easy to overlook things or make a bad decision that costs you a match, even when you're ahead for a lot of it. And I do think Path was ahead for a lot of it. I think Eddie and Path really traded leads a lot, but I think Eddie just had some tighter decision making in the last third, and I think maybe more map awareness, more objective awareness. I wouldn't mind asking Path later about the criteria check, because I am curious what he was thinking.
I imagine it's a simple overlook.
Yeah. It is possible that, my first thought was maybe Path was looking for Varia, but Path didn't get the major that was in criteria after checking that map out. So it's maybe an overlook on the objectives. And, it's easy to happen. That happens to all of us at every level of this game. Every level. Whether you're a 500 ranked player, or whether you're just starting out, or whether you're a 3,000 ranked player. This kind of stuff happens.
I do think it's a curious choice to go all this way for refilling through Baby Skip again, when I do think the Caterpillar shaft was pretty sufficient. But, who knows? Competition nerves really get to you. So That is an unfortunate slip up for Path. I hope he can not let it get to him in game 2 though.
Oh, we've got Teddy on screen. Hi, Teddy. I know Teddy can't hear me. Eddie has the most adorable. Eddie has the most adorable kid. Look at Teddy, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to the 2026 Map Rando Super Metroid Winter Tournament. Welcome back to Path versus Eddie. This is round 2 of our really exciting series. Round 1 was definitely a heartbreaker for Path. It was a very, very difficult random objective siege. Eddie and Path traded leads many times in the very beginning, with Eddie having a little bit of a stronger last third that allowed him to pull ahead. And now, in the start of round 2, we find ourselves with an item draft seed now. And sitting to my right is, of course, my wonderful friend Harley Hart. Let's talk to me about item draft. What items did they veto, and what items did they pick? And I guess Eddie is a two-dimensional drawing now. That's a little uncomfortable to look at, but that's okay. I'm also a two-dimensional drawing, so I get it. I get it.
Okay, as a non-two-dimensional drawing, I have the information that, so as you said, we're doing item draft. It looks like Eddie banned Varia and picked high jump, and then Path banned bombs and picked spring. I honestly like a bombs ban, because in every seed I've played personally, when you get bombs and morph early, the seed is going to make you IBJ anywhere possible. So I think that's just something good not to start with. It looks like we're starting with morph, so that spring ball is gonna come in pretty handy.
And charge. Oh wow. Okay.
I do think charge is technically out of logic because you have to do
Right.
a quick jump back up, and it looks like Eddie had to reset
Yeah.
and skip
Both
it for now.
runners have opted to do that because there's just no way to get out of there. But this is an interesting start, especially considering that we have charge so early, and all it takes is bombs or power bombs to get out of there. So I suspect that this will be a very beam heavy seed. Eddie grabbing the wreck ship map. Holy majors,
I am
Batman! We
surprised
have.
if Path didn't see the map in this room because it looks like Path's blinding a little bit.
Ooh, this could be Eddie with an early advantage here, going for the map as early as Eddie did. Without Path not checking the map, okay. Path's checking the map. Okay, good. We're back on track. Eddie finds bombs.
No, it looks like we get bombs early anyway, but
Yeah, so we might be seeing a lot of IBJs here. So wreck ship is a smaller zone generally than the rest of the areas, so that is something to think about. This is not going to be a very big area. So I'm wondering. Let's see.
Yeah. The only time wreck ship will not be empty is when you start in it.
Yeah. God, we got a lot of majors here, Harley. And the wreck ship map there's a whole lot going on in this wreck ship, that's for sure. And I think with wreck ship generally being smaller than the other maps, along with Turian, you definitely want to take a quick look and see what you're working with.
Yeah, it looks like both of them are opting to go straight to Norfair. I wasn't sure if there was anything in logic here, but I did see missiles in the bottom right and 2 majors in the top. So I'm curious if those were out of logic or just too slow to get to. Okay, so it looks like they can't do anything else here. So that is why they're both going to Norfair.
Yeah. Okay. Both runners going through Norfair. We've got not a lot of ammunition here that's been available for pickup in the first 5 minutes. Okay, we've got morph, we've got bombs, we've got spring ball, we've got jump. So we've got a lot of mobility items here. we might see an IBJ with this early seeing bombs. Um, didn't one of the racers ban bombs, but we've got them early anyway?
Yeah,
Okay. Wow. Um, what a twist of fate there. Was it Path that banned bombs?
I do think I could be wrong because I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to logic. I'm curious if bombs are more of a filler major here because they do already have spring ball, so maybe that's why we found it early. In addition to being able to break, I guess it's not a filler because they're breaking stuff, so never mind.
Right. They don't have access to power bombs right now, so bombs is a big deal. Um, and thank you, Rubu. Path did ban bombs. Eddie banned Varia. I think Eddie banned Varia just because, well, Eddie's pause strats are just so good here in surviving heated rooms, and I think that that's just Eddie's counting on that being an advantage that he has over Path possibly, and so he's wanting to lean into that strength of his and um,
Yeah, and
yes.
for those new to this category, because it was confusing to me at first as well, the banning is only for the starting items. So they show up in logic, it's just the runner cannot pick it as their starting item. But it will show up in the map in the normal logic.
So it is worth pointing out something to think about for the coming future of the seed is that with both runners having access to bombs, with both runners having access to spring ball, with both runners having access to high jump boots, we could be seeing a lot of underwater movement tech here, like underwater spring ball jumping, stuff like that. Okay, so Eddie, of course, has missiles and supers. Path picking up supers. So something that I want to point out too, let's break it down and talk about maybe race mentality here for a moment. Eddie is in the lead right now, one match ahead. Also, Eddie's fighting Fantoonthe right now. This will be interesting. This will be fun to see. Eddie's going to be fighting. Actually, let's pay attention to this Fantoonthe fight first because I want to see Eddie do it. With only one missile pack here, you can't really, you don't have a lot of missiles to Doppler. So we're probably not going to be seeing like some really crazy Dopplers here, but
Well, yeah, this is going to be hopefully a pretty good example of what I was talking about earlier, how you want to get farm drops, but not pick them up yet, so you can just slowly pick them up as you spend them during the Dopplering, or I guess just attacking.
right,
Like
right.
maximize the damage per round.
That's a smart move, Harley, and we've already seen that here. And of course, Eddie has some
That was
wonderful
a very quick fight with 5-5.
Yeah, that was very impressive. Of course, supers, having access to supers makes a lot of the difference here because it does allow you to get rid of engine quicker. I want to say too that Eddie's right to left Dopplers look very incredible. I've always found right to left Dopplers harder than left to right. So Eddie is pulling ahead here at the very beginning. So Path has found themselves in Norfair. Eddie's moved on to Criteria.
It looks like Path is heading back to Wreck Ship. Probably to maybe get those majors that we saw earlier.
That might be what Path is going for. We've got 3 majors here in Criteria. We've also got Mother Brain, so Eddie knows where Mother Brain is. I believe I saw Kraid there too. It might have been Dragon. We also saw the entrance to Brinstar at the bottom of the Criteria map. Eddie going back to Norfair. So since we've got a little bit of Eddie making a save, that's a very smart play right here. Very smart play. Path going back to Wreck Ship. I think Path might be looking for those majors, like you said, Harley, the ones that Path left behind. Both
Yeah,
runners left
getting up here always super fun. Spring Ball makes it a little more lenient than if you had ice per se, but I feel like suitless Main Street is one of the most difficult climbs up, probably from my experience in Map Rando. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Suitless. Stonetless Main Street, or even Main Street with like ice and high jump. Yeah, that's not you're not in for a very fun time, that's for sure. You know what might be funny, Harley? Maybe we should practice RBO or North Korea percent together at some point because you got to do that there.
Right.
Oh, that would help
That
us.
sounds perfect. I love
Yeah,
suffering, so that sounds like a great thing to agree to.
right. Well, hey, Harley, we're Super Metroid players. We enjoy the suffering to an extent, right? It comes to the territory. Um, so, Path
Is
has
I'm
returned to
seeing some
Red
talk saying that charge is PB locked. Is that not breakable by bombs? I thought you could just break the bottom block with a bomb.
It is breakable
But
by bombs, yes. Um,
left door is PB. Okay, thank you.
yes, left
I
doors.
missed that.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, okay. So Eddie is now returning to wrecked ship, to the wrecked ship map, and it's there is some differences here that are worth pointing out. Eddie, of course, has taken Fantoonthe out already. Eddie, of course, has 5 missiles compared to Path's no missiles. Although Path has just picked up grapple, is getting these
Ooh,
mages
and speed.
faster. Okay. So this is a difference in routing. Eddie opted to kill Fantoonthe, and and Path opted to get these majors. So, are they tied up? Maybe.
I
I
think
don't
it's too
know.
hard to say at this point. Because by the time Path gets back to Fantoonthe, he might have enough equipment to make some time back.
Yo, it's
Uh,
Spazer beam, Spazer, everybody's favorite beam. It can do anything. It can even do your taxes, apparently. Ooh,
oh, that's unfortunate for Path.
half. Ooh. Okay, well, how far back was the save for Path? Oh
This is
no.
pretty far back, so Path has to recollect everything here. I don't believe he saved
Oh no. This
for the
is really.
entirety of this area.
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for Path here. Oh no. Okay, I do want to point out this kind of stuff happens. This does. Um, you know, Path had some closer saves available. Path didn't take the opportunity to get those closer saves, so I can understand why Path. This is Path's game to lose, and Path is probably hightailing it here. His mind is probably racing, really fast, trying to just think of anything that he can do to beat Eddie. This is a really tough situation to be in. And again, this is race nerves, I think. This is race nerves. Race nerves, because, you know, there could have been, some better options that Path could have taken. There was a closer save. Um, that Path could have pivoted from. It's tough because Path is behind. This is his match to lose, so he might be playing more aggressive, attempting to play more aggressive here in an attempt to beat Eddie. And I, you know, I
So I think Eddie
can't
just realized
fault.
that going there was a mistake, so he reloaded after going all the way to the start to
Ooh,
get charge.
yeah, yeah. I think that honestly, Harley, I think the best way to describe this situation is, to use a line from a classic song from the 80s, the heat is on, you know? The heat is
Uh,
on.
what's it on?
It's on in a general way, just in a very general way, like it's just really hot in here, the heat's on right now.
Oh, okay, yeah, because
And
it is like blizzarding over by you, so that makes sense that the heat would be on.
right, right, right. The heat is on right now. My heater is on because there is a blizzard right now and it's very cold. I have not left my house today because the street outside is completely 100% covered in snow, and I don't want anything to deal with that. So, but yeah. So,
So it looks like Eddie's
yeah.
heading to Meridia now, and I don't believe we've seen that yet. So this is gonna be an An interesting deviation, and he's turning around. Okay. That was
So
a good look into Meridia.
good looking to Meridia. You know, blink and you miss it. Say hi to it. But yeah, I think Path is just, you know, and for the moment here, I want to talk about Path's situation here. Um, so this is Path's match to lose. Path being, you know, behind Eddie. You know, Eddie could play cautiously here if Eddie wanted to, you know? If Eddie wanted to play a little safer, a little bit more cautious, Eddie could. Eddie could afford to take a loss if Eddie wanted to, you know? It's like, you know, being up, you know, 50 points in basketball or something, you know? That's just how it is. Eddie could play a little bit more casually or a little bit more safer if he wanted to. I have a feeling that he's not going to, but, like, my point is that this is Path's game to lose. So Path is, you know, might be, you know, getting sweaty in his head. He might be overthinking a couple of things, or
I do think Path might be at a slight advantage here, knowing where speed and I guess grapple are. Grapple might come into play later, but I think the bigger one is speed. So that's knowledge Eddie doesn't have yet.
mhm.
And Eddie seems to be going through Meridia again. I believe he made a pivot save somewhere towards it, so he might be resetting here if he doesn't find anything fruitful. So this is a good chance for Path to catch up.
Yeah. That first race was really that ended up being a tough one too, and having, you know, playing these matches in a series is so hard. It's so hard because you get seed bleed, or, you know, you get sweaty, or you get heated, and, like, you know, that's when mistakes start happening. So it is hard to really call. Okay, Eddie just saw PBs. Okay, I like this little skip here. These little bounces that Eddie's doing.
Yeah, it's fun. So many interesting nuanced tech to Metroid, which I imagine
Yeah.
he's like bouncing before the double bounce, so it's just keeping momentum. I never knew
Eddie's
you could
got
actually
it.
do that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun. My first category, speedrun category, was hundo, so I kind of got familiar with, like, as much as I could at that point, of my own skill level at that time. I tried to get acclimated to speedball or springball tech, and springball tech is really fun. So, but so uh, Eddie has seen a lot of the maps here. He's now seen Meridia. He's seen more maps than Path has. Eddie opting not to go deal with the Metroid's room, and that's, I think, a fair call because you know, that room, you know, you kind of have to take a little dip in the lava because it's so long. Eddie doesn't have the health to deal with that, and without reserves, I wouldn't make that call either. Yes, and power bombs are power bomb locked. Ain't that cute, Super Metroid? Thank you. I think. Wait, why would you do that to us, Super Metroid?
Well, hey, let's not blame Super Metroid. Let's blame the lovely developers who created the map rando generation and the logic around it. Super
Yeah,
Metroid did nothing wrong. Deer Force is the perfect company. And honestly, it might just be chat's fault at the end of the day.
But yeah, big shout outs to the map rando developers and stuff. We are all slowly losing our mind to map rando, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a fun journey along the way.
I'm taking an interesting route here, up to 3 E-tanks, which is pretty nice. Still no missiles though, and Eddie's up to 15 missiles. This is a very split path. They're all choosing their own way.
Okay, Eddie.
Eddie
About
going
to
for
face
Kraid here.
Kraid? Yeah, and this is going to be a really super easy match.
DLC incoming?
Okay, looks like Eddie's taking a break here for just a moment to collect himself before the fight.
I'm surprised he didn't grab some food.
I am guilty of grabbing food or a drink during the Kraid's when Kraid is coming up out of the earth like that, and then losing the Kraid quick kill. I don't quite recommend it as a good time for that. But yeah, I definitely agree that Path needs to kick this into overdrive. I mean, this is a tough situation for Path. Path's already had like a major mistake and a major death early on. Imagine Path is really. I feel for Path here. It's a tough place to be, Harley, when you've got like a death so early in a critical spot. It's tough to get your head back on straight after something like that, and I know Path is dealing with that. I'm rooting for Path to figure it out right here. Beautiful flat lay jump from Eddie. I that's a hard one.
I didn't know you could do that, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. I've actually never tried it, but well, no, wait, I have tried it before. Yeah, I don't think I've actually done it before, but I've tried it before. It's hard.
Are we gonna UWJ here? Oh yeah.
Oh,
Eddie recently taught me this trick, so and it came in handy before, so.
Yeah, it came in handy last or 2 nights ago when you and I were racing against each other. In fact, I think you beat me with that UWJ, right?
Well, sure. Let's say for the sake of it, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I am curious what Path's game plan is here. Ooh, Eddie finding PBs finally is pretty big.
Yeah, power bombs at 20 minutes in. That's a long time, but Eddie finally got it at where normally the heart tank missiles are. Welcome in everybody from SG5. Hope the match over at SG5 was a lot of fun to watch. I'm sure it was. We are in round 2 in our upper gold bracket match of Path versus Eddie. Eddie is up 1-0, and this has been a very challenging item draft match for both runners, particularly for Path. We started out with spring ball and high jump, and as you can see, both of our runners have a difference of majors, with Path having speed boots and grapple, and Eddie having more ammunition than Path. So. And 2 bosses down.
I do. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think this is a point where Path's early knowledge of speed and grapple might be kind of whittling away? But we'll see what this major is.
Is it gravity? We're about to find out.
It's Varia.
I like how you said Varia and I said Varia.
I don't know how to say anything. Okay.
No. I just think it's funny. I think it's we just pronounce it differently. I think that's very funny.
Do you think that's interesting? Eddie might skip this major, only because it's very far away, and maybe that's being unfair to Eddie. But I feel like he's always saying, "Yeah, that stuff's too far away, so I don't want it."
Eddie hasn't found any reserves yet. I think that's worth pointing out. So, Varia, might be a little nicer to have right now.
Varia?
Did I say Varia? 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 Varia?
So Path not having PBs here definitely sucks because it looks like this other major with Coliseum, which would be in logic if he had PBs because of grapple, is no longer able to be accessed. So I feel like he's hurting for PBs pretty bad right now. Maybe these 2 X's in the southern door.
Okay.
Oh, there's 2 entrances. I'm observant.
Okay, Path utilizing grapple to get through Coliseum. It's definitely an essential item for this for this room, or one of the essential items to get through this room.
Yeah, so this
Very
is definitely an interesting match because while it looks objectively, Path might be a little behind. I feel like he can pull ahead pretty quickly if he makes the right decisions. Um, or on pathing later. Because Eddie still needs to find at least speed and potentially grapple.
Have we seen any speed locked rooms yet, Harley?
I guess not, but it definitely. I feel
Hmm,
like you're gonna want speed as a runner,
yeah.
in most seeds.
Path just picked up Wave. Path just picked up Wave just a moment ago. Uh, Path does have Varia. Path does have Wave and Speed and Grapple. So, I mean, that's a lot of majors. Eddie, of course. Oh, I liked that little jump there. That spring ball jump. That was cool. Um, Eddie does have 2 bosses down, though. Harley, have we seen Ridley and Dragon on the map yet?
I don't think we have. Eddie got charged now though. He finally went back, picked that up. So I didn't quite see on the map where he's heading to now. I imagine there's a major here.
Gosh, I feel like I'm about to do maybe I should start taking screenshots of the maps. I heard Eddie and Emmett joking about that yesterday. Maybe I should take screenshots of the maps whenever they briefly show up on the screen for, like, a second or 2.
Okay, so Eddie's now gonna get grapple in speed. Um,
We have seen Dragon. We have seen Dragon. Thank you, chat. Thank you.
oh,
Uh
okay. I missed that.
Yeah, I missed it too. These maps are, we don't get a lot of chances to look at them, and we don't we only get to see brief seconds of them most of the time. Power bombs for Path, after all this time.
Yeah, getting a different set is interesting because Varia lets him go through. Ooh.
Oh, no, Path. Ooh.
Eddie picking up Spazer and doing the speed kill here now in the pirate room or plasma room.
Yeah, he have to just save, so this isn't too bad of a loss, but I mean, like, still, something to bring up is that these kind of deaths, like, they add up in the head. They do. They add up in the head. And I know Path is, like, trying to, like, kick this up into high gear. It's important, when you're playing Map Rando, to keep your head on straight and to keep your head cool and stuff. And every death, that you have, it can definitely get you heated if you're not careful. So Path's struggle right now is just to remain calm and focused. That's hard to do, especially when you're up against Eddie. Hmm. Okay.
So Path finally. Oh my god, I can't talk. Path finally securing a save with PBs here, so that's finally some good news. I imagine he's gonna cross Coliseum again. After hopefully getting a PB, but maybe he might skip that at this point.
Okay.
Like Eddie's gonna grab this E tank here in Main
Ooh.
Street.
I think this is a smart play here. I think it's a very easy E-tank for Eddie to get. With 3 E-tanks out of the way, Eddie does not have enough to survive Mother Brain yet. He would, of course, if he had Varia, but he doesn't. So, Eddie's he's still looking for stuff. Gosh, our runner's high five in here. Oh, Eddie not happy about that room. Path opting to go back up to wreck ship. I'm sure he's
He might go for
hoping to get
charge
that,
at this point, or no?
he might be going for that.
Oh, yeah, he's probably setting up an entry. Okay.
Right, probably going for that E-tank. There we go. There we go.
Half
Well,
already
maybe
has
not.
this E-tank.
Oh, I'm sorry, I must have missed that. Okay.
I imagine he's going for charge at this point. I'm curious if he's gonna go back for Spazer, though.
My thinking is that, probably not. Path definitely I mean, maybe. If I were in Path's position, granted, I don't know, Harley. If I were in Path's position, knowing me, I would probably end up skipping Spazer and probably pay the price for it later somehow.
You could never pay the price for skipping Spazer. It's useless, so, I would also not go back, but...
We haven't seen a lot of missiles here, in either of these seeds, so
Eddie having PBs here for this Coliseum, because Path got wave, but he could not PB the X's, and they did happen to be supers, so that's also kind of huge.
yeah. And I do want to say too, we haven't seen a lot of missiles or supers in this seed. I should have clarified that a little bit better. But Path does have a reserve. I just noticed that, and I'm not sure when that was picked up, but I imagine that that's been but yeah, that's definitely been helping out.
He's had it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Curious his game plan now that he has charge.
Reserve is, of course, not as important now that he's got Varia, but, reserve is a nice thing to have, especially in the face of, like, the coming Ridley fight, having a little bit of extra insurance there.
Yeah,
If you
Eddie
need
is
it.
about to pick up Varia now, though, so...
Yeah, and I have a feeling that when Eddie picks up Varia...
Opting to UWJ instead of the extra pause for the double spring maul. That's a choice, and I can respect that.
Can respect that. And Eddie about to pick up Varia here. This is... Gosh, Harley, this is a problem. This is a problem for Path. I noticed Path did not end up going back for Spazer. I think that's a fair call. If I were in Path's shoes, I probably wouldn't go for Spazer again either. I think you could make an argument for it, but like, given that there's so few missiles and super missiles available, the extra firepower against Mother Brain and Ridley might be nice to have. But I mean, who am I kidding? I'd probably skip it too.
I think Path is probably feeling behind, especially with the few deaths he's had. So I imagine he's gonna cut corners in like the most calculated way he can probably make.
Yeah.
And I think cutting Spazer there is one of those calculations because it's not free to get, and it is a bit tricky with the speed booster stuff going on.
Path just had a reset there upon seeing the major that was in that.
Which major was it? I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. X-ray. Okay, thank you, Rubu. Rubu here, of course, is our wonderful friend Rubu here is, of course, tracking for us and catching these little moments too that sometimes we miss and everything. So, X-ray shunned again. Oh, can't believe it.
X-ray shunned again. Yeah, these are just informed decisions on the items that are valuable. And I am surprised that Path is not going for Fantoonthe yet. Because Fantoonthe is just kind of sitting there. He might just wait till he's got like ample ammo to do like an easier Doppler. I don't know if he knows like pop tune or on-screen X factors. That is also an option that would significantly speed the fight up now that he has wave in charge. So I'm a little shocked he didn't fight Fantoonthe yet, but
we might see him go for, pop tune here in a little bit. I guess it depends on what Path is just more comfortable with. I guess we'll find out soon. Path
going to
opting
Kraid now.
to... Oh, I like this little speed boot strat here. Path going to Kraid. Getting another missile along the way, too. I imagine he's going to get one of these. Or maybe not either of them. Oh, okay. He gets one. Okay, which I think is good. I think at this point he needs at least one.
Okay. These Batcave farm here is notoriously good for getting supers, and you're always gonna get at least 4 per farm. So I think that was a good call.
Oh, my bad, Nitro. I thought he was going for Kraid. My mistake.
Yeah, it looked like he was going. I struggle to read the map sometimes.
Yeah, we see so little of it. Eddie's seen the Brinstar map. I spotted the ship. I spotted one major to the far right bottom. It looks like the Firefly room that's next to... That's part of the Lower North Fair Escape.
Gravity.
Eddie getting another super. That's gonna play huge into the coming Ridley fight and the coming of the Brain fight. Eddie is acquiring an arsenal here. And he's gonna go for this major down here. Gravity?
Well, it's not gravity because Path got it. It could be plasma, screw, space.
Wait, where was gravity for? Oh my gosh, I'm missing so much here. Oh, this is so much to keep up with. Never gets easier.
Yeah.
Where was gravity?
I don't know what room it's called, but it's like the one where there's 3 items in it, and then you have to you get the first item, then morph underneath to the right, and then there's another item, then there's a third hidden item in the wall.
Oh, okay. That's where it was. Yeah. Sky missiles, RJ? Okay. Okay, so... Right. Eddie feeling a lot more comfortable with that knee tank. Path going for the Kraid kill here. Ooh, I like what Path is doing. Path is reducing the lag in the room with wave. That's really cool. Oh, I understand our categories.
Going for the 10 missile Kraid quick kill. Not quite, but that was a really good attempt, I think. We are gonna see some DLC here, but it looks like it won't be too long of a fight. Oh my god.
Eddie making his way up to Turian. This is our first sight of Turian over here.
I think Ridley has to be here, right? We've gotten the map in every other location at this point.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we're going to see Ridley soon. Eddie opting to skip that E-tank right there. But goes for the reserve. I think that makes sense. Eddie checking out what little we've seen of the Turian map so far, and is going to turn around.
I think he realized the map might have not been that way.
Right. Eddie going for the super shot. Boom! Gets it first try.
I don't know that setup. That was interesting.
Ooh.
I think
Oh.
Eddie was thinking that was a little reach around room,
Oh.
but disappointed that he found.
Got him! Oh, no. Poor Eddie. I saw his
Yeah,
eyes roll there.
it's always frustrating when you're trying to find a connected map and the rooms just seem to like be tangential and never connected. So
Path is now fighting Fantoonthe. And with this kill here from Path, Path is going to, Path's going to equal up the boss's killed so far with Eddie. I still think that Path is behind, but in terms of objectives, they're going to be matched up. Eddie going after Batoon. It does appear that Batoon is in the way.
yeah, it does look like he's blocking map. So. Batoon's definitely easier with all these beams, so I feel like I would have naturally just swapped a wave and done the X Factor setup, but I also just prefer to try to do the speedrun tricks any chance I get, so I imagine it's probably faster just to shoot him.
Ooh, Eddie finally getting to the Turian map. We've got Ridley and a Major here. I imagine Eddie's probably not going to go for that Major. What do you think, Harley?
Yeah, I think Eddie is probably thinking Ridley and then head back to Dragon and clean up. I think he has everything he needs to survive, especially with getting Varia there, so I imagine he's looking up to just like clean the seat up.
Yeah, because even when it comes to Dragon, I mean, Eddie's got grapple and like, yeah, I think Eddie is. If Eddie is not in go mode, I think Eddie's approaching. If Eddie's not in go mode, I think Eddie's approaching go mode. I think Eddie's pretty much in go mode right now. Because with Ice Beam, he has a way to do the sabotage skip, and he's got enough ammunition from Other Brain Phase 1. Yeah. I think it's just a matter of time at this point. I think Eddie is pretty much there in go mode.
He missed a super there, so that might cost some extra shots. But I think this fight is, I was gonna say, pretty much over at this point.
Yeah. Path spotting screw attack here, but Path resets the game upon the discovery. Looks like Path is utilizing pivot saves right now, which is good.
Yeah. I imagine Path feels like he's in catch-up mode and doesn't really have the luxury to pick up any like majors that are even remotely slightly out of the way. I'm curious if he goes. No, he's gonna skip Dragon here.
It's wild to see a seed where it's like, Eddie doesn't even need gravity at this point, That's so wild. Path getting an extra set of missiles and supers. But he had to blind that, so I'm sure he's disappointed that wasn't something more. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, at this point, he probably doesn't need space.
I imagine he's happy for supers at this point in the match still with his count. He's probably disappointed that there's no Ridley. Cycling through, it does look like he feels like he maybe overlooked Ridley.
Right. Path hasn't made a Deturian yet, right?
No.
Yeah.
So it looks like he might be gonna get ice here. And then I'm curious if he's gonna fight Dragon or look for Ridley.
Path is, probably panicking, not knowing where, Ridley is at this point, so I imagine, that's what he's looking for right now. I think, at this point, it's really just a matter of time with Eddie. Eddie does know where Dragon is, so, um gosh, this is such an annoying room to have to go to without gravity.
Yeah.
Okay. Path getting a little farm there, that's a good farm. Good, safe, reliable farm. Both runners did a
They
little
did
high
cross
five
paths
there.
again, interestingly.
Yeah.
I I'm genuinely curious why Half didn't fight Dre there. Is Mother Brain. I can't remember where Mother Brain was, so maybe in his mind he's gonna just clean up Dragon on the way back to Mother Brain.
Oh, I saw that too. Eddie had some short-term, struggles getting up the side of that wall there. It was a little cute. Alright, let's see Path get this super shot off. Good shot. Yeah, with Eddie and, Dragon right here, I mean, I think Eddie's been in go mode for a while now, and, like, I just I think it's only a matter of time, Harley. I feel bad for Path here. I imagine Path is probably panicking a little bit. Path's in the right spot. I mean, he's gonna fight Ridley soon. I think being
So instead of turning around, he's trying to see if it is connected through the right, I believe, for map. So Eddie turned around here and went upwards, and then Path, I believe, is just, yeah, so now that's pretty much a dead end for that one.
Yeah, this was a really cheeky map too. I mean, it's not the rudest map location I've ever seen, but this map was not kind to anybody.
Yeah, no, it definitely has an attitude that some might not appreciate, so.
Half taking a save. Probably wanting to use that save as a pivot. I mean, Eddie, we're in endgame here, folks. We are in endgame, and Eddie knows where Mother Brain is, headed over there right now. I know, Nito, you'd think this map would have a little gratitude. I mean, right, Harley?
Yeah, it's a crazy world we live in with map rooms having such little respect for the runners here.
I know, right? Eddie picking up another E-tank. He doesn't need this E-tank, but I mean, I imagine at this point, it's right there. You practically have to get whatever is right there. So, I'm sure he's happy to have it. Oh, it just jumps right over screw attack. The disrespect to
To
screw
be
attack
fair,
that we see here.
that is a technical time save because he would have to turn it off otherwise to get through the Zeb skip. So I think that's a respectable skip there.
That's so funny.
It's just a double time loss at that point.
Half reloading back at his pivot save, and we are in endgame here. Eddie is at Mother Brain phase 1. This has been this has been a wild series. I think both of our runners have played extremely well here. It's just that it's just tough. Eddie's starting Mother Brain phase 2 here. Meanwhile, Path is picking up another super pack, prepping for the boss fights that are gonna happen soon for him.
Is this Mama Turtle Rune? I guess he's... Oh, okay, he's checking the major here, probably trying to get this.
Might be... I guess it'll probably be Space. No, Plasma, okay. Well, it's not the best find, but Plasmas will, of course, you know, help with bosses and stuff. And Eddie damaging down. Old hundo tactic right there. Making sure that you have 3 E-Paint.
No Nevdy damage down there, so...
Alright, can we get some guesses in chat for the escape timer, y'all? Y'all do not have a lot of time. Harley, what do you think? I'm gonna go with 145.
150.
Oh my gosh! Harley, you are so good at this! I can't believe it.
It's a gift. What can I say?
It is a gift. Better than better than me. Better than me. What can I say? Better than me. Harley's got this. What an exceptional guess there from Harley. Yeah, you got a cookie. I'm gonna get you a cookie, Harley.
Oh well, thank you. I do think Plasma was a good find because it significantly speeds up Path's Ridley fight here, not really needing supers anymore.
Right.
Definitely gives him some breathing room in the fight. It is unfortunate to be found a little late in the competition here against Eddie's escape currently, but I definitely think Path put up a good fight. There's a few mistakes here and there that definitely ate into his chances. The big unfortunate one in the beginning was just not seeing map right away and then blinding a few. That's only like a couple, maybe a minute max.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I definitely think both players did really well today.
Both players did really well, yeah. And I think when you're up against Eddie, that 60 seconds is going to be a big deal.
Right.
I imagine that Path probably was just really panicking there, just trying to get sweaty, you know, just getting sweaty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotta be, you know. You can in fact go under those.
Yeah, I actually learned a lot of new room tech. The crab maze. Watching these tournaments, I've realized how many options there are to get through the crab maze. This room also, I didn't realize you could shoot underneath.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been cool to watch for that alone.
We have time. GG's for both runners, Eddie and Path. We're gonna get them in here for commentary. I mean, not commentary. We're gonna get them in here in just a moment for post-match reflections. This was wild, y'all. Oh my gosh. And we've got Path and Eddie in here. GG's, y'all.
Howdy, howdy. GG's.
GG, Path.
Yeah, I guess.
Those are some weird scenes. Those are weird scenes.
Yeah, that second one was fun. I
That
love
second one was crazy. Like, you just get like 13 majors and you can't find, like, where'd you get power bombs?
I got mine in Wasteland. Where'd you get yours?
I got mine at here's a Wasteland. I got mine at Mickey Mouse.
Oh, that sounds so much easier.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? I saw Kraid and like the Mickey Mouse X, and I was just like, well, that might be a power bomb, so I gotta try.
Oh, I see. Did you have grapple?
No, but I had spring ball, right? So
right,
I could double spring ball everything there. So I got Kraid, and then I got the tank on the right because it's a little sketchy otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to the left, and it was power bombs, and then I was able to clean stuff up. I was still nervous because plasma, if I had something decent, like I wouldn't necessarily be able to keep it because you know, we don't really have the health to pseudo them necessarily. So I was a little nervous, like that could be something big and I can't keep it. But
do you know what it was? Because I do.
Yep, I got it.
Oh God.
It was what was it again? Spazer.
Yeah, I died
I kept
trying to speed booster them, unfortunately.
Oh.
So I lost probably 4-ish minutes in the beginning.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, the save is at Main Street, right? Like at the bottom.
Mine was down at Croc, like the Croc Speedway.
Oh,
down in Criteria. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's already bad if you have the closest save.
Oh, it was. My heart broke for you there, Paf, when that happened. I was just like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
because
I've done that
I
plenty.
was
Sorry, go.
no, I was just so worried about you there because it's just like, oh no, that like that kind of like what happens there, especially coming off from like the what happened in round one. Gosh, trying to come back from that. I imagine like you know, you might have. I had considered that maybe you were going into panic mode or just like just trying to keep your head on
Mm.
straight. I'm sure that was really tough to deal with.
So round one or game one actually calmed me a lot. So okay, my problem is I think I respect Eddie too much, right?
Yeah, no,
So
that's
first game,
easy to
I'm just
do.
panicking. Like I cannot control my hands. And I'm like, oh my god, he's just gonna dot it 30 minutes and I'm boned or whatever, right? But like when we both had some struggles, I was within the ending at least, and I know I'd made a bunch of major mistakes.
Yeah.
I felt pretty good. And then I died in this seed, and it wasn't so good.
So we were wondering, did you overlook acid chozos?
Sure did.
Yeah, because
You did.
I think the big point where the shift leaned towards Eddie was you went to criteria and there was just nothing there, and you already knew where all the objectives were.
Mhm.
So that was definitely unfortunate. Random objectives, I feel like, does that to a lot of players.
Yeah. I felt so good about seed 1 too. I think my route was really good. Made a lot of good decisions, but wasn't able to bring it home.
I think Seed 1 was really exciting. I mean, Eddie and Paf, like y'all were trading leads a whole lot.
Seed one was like really. There was like a lot of things you could do. It was kind of like crazy. So Path you didn't know where the ship was, right? So you didn't clear Norfair.
I don't remember. Let me check.
Eddie, I'm curious about your decision to do acid chozos so early because you reset like 4 or 5 times trying to get it done, and it was right next to Mother Brain. So
Yeah, it's supposed to be free. So
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
the reason why, well, basically, so the reason why, right, is because you have to beat the game. You have to enter the You have to. Okay, that's my kid. Sorry.
Hi, Teddy.
Mother Brain's on the right side, right?
Yeah.
Other Brain's on the right side, so I didn't want to have to go through baby skip and do it after again, if that makes sense, right?
That's
so I
fair.
just want to take care of it there, and I know Ridley is up in was it Turian or Criteria? I can't remember. Ridley's up in that section, right? So when I come back down, I'm gonna be on the right side of Mother Brain. I don't want to have to go back through baby again.
That's
and it
fair.
shouldn't be a problem, but I was getting a little stubborn about it. Right? I just have
Yeah.
to land on the hand with any amount of HP, and then the reserves will kick in. So that was the idea.
Eddie, we really
Yeah.
appreciated the Teddy cameo at the end of round 1. That was very cute.
Yeah. She's in my room right now. He just blasted in, and I can't stop him. So probably hear him breathing heavily. Hey. But yeah, I think those seeds were pretty interesting. They were definitely not straightforward. High jump plus spring made that seed really weird because you see 500 majors and you just can't get them. It's like, okay, well, let's just find power bomb somewhere.
Yeah,
Eddie,
going down Main Street early sucked. Like that was extremely unpleasant. And like as I'm going down, it occurs to me that it could just be a bunch of underwater rooms. Like we can do all of this.
Yep.
That's terrible.
There's a lot of water. I was actually okay with high jump plus spring. I didn't think too hard about it. I was just like, yeah, let's just do high jump. We'll make them play spring. I'm down to play high jump spring. That sounds fun. We have to do all this water, and I could double spring ball jump pretty well. So in that situation, there was a spot where I double spring ball jump and got the power bombs. But like, the problem was, or I guess it's not like so much a problem. I just kind of forgot that you could just pick grab and bypass that entire thing. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever.
Yeah, that'd be too boring though.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Pap, is there a
sorry,
reason you
go
banned bombs?
Yeah, so I actually put a little bit of thought into the items. 1 shower's worth of thoughts. And I determined that there's 3 items that I need to not let Eddie have free, right? Because he's just better than them with me. Speed, because he can spike suit. High jump, because he can left side underwater wall jump. And bombs, of course. So
the bombs.
I had all these plans of, I'm gonna be player 2. If he bans this, and I gotta consider doing this and that and whatever. And then he just picks player 2 and I'm player 1, and really made all that easier.
I didn't really think about how the advantage, like you said, so I'll keep that in mind for next time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, the main reason you'll see, basically, like for those who are good at double IBJ, right? You kind of need to ban bombs against them because, like, I mean, you saw that there was a Nevdi versus Oats match, right? Like, there were like 2 instances where you have to bomb jump to get an item, and like Oats just saves like a million years, right? Because he double IBJs.
Yeah.
So that's just like an easy way to be like, oh, well, I don't want to like lose time here to someone that can double IBJ, basically.
Yeah,
like,
I was
instantly.
mentioning how I noticed when you get morph and bombs early, the seed will like just force you to do every IBJ possible
Yeah,
in the
it's
map.
pretty common.
So.
Yeah, it's pretty common because
And it's a hard trick, right?
exactly, because it's in, oh no, it's in medium, I think. Well, it used to be in medium, but like long IBJs are in hard. So then item placements tend to actually hide behind like hard tricks, right? In hard tricky. So that's why it's like you'll have like very common one obviously is going to be like Indiana Jones where you have to bomb up, to get the item up there. Stuff like that, or the top right of criteria ship. Like it's like pretty common. You have to double IBJ those, or you have to IBJ those, and you just straight up you'll just lose time with no recourse, right? If you aren't like consistent at that, basically. So.
How did y'all like that Turian, the location of the Turian map there at the very end?
Oh, that was so stupid. Dude, as soon as I saw Botwood, I'm just so miserable.
Yeah, I like for a second thought about just blinding the left doors, like legitimately, but I was just like, I can't do this.
I thought you were
'Cause-
gonna X-ray climb ice gates, to be honest.
I mean, oh no, I okay, that did cross my mind, but do we even have X-ray? I can't remember. I don't know if I did, but like,
No,
we saw
neither of you
it,
picked up
but-
X-ray in the second seed.
okay, it crossed my mind for a second, like if like okay, I didn't even know if I had it or not, but it crossed my mind anyway. And then I'm like, I'm not doing that. It's too slow. It's really slow to climb those gates. So, but if I could do it really quickly, I would have.
Both of these seeds were like, gosh, they were kind of like I kind of felt like, especially that second one, I kind of felt like it was a troll seed.
Yeah, I think the problem with the seed, this was a really difficult seed in terms of like racing, because when you see all these majors in wreck ship, but you have no way to get them, and one of them is charge, which you want to get, the problem is like it's really hard to figure out when to go back, and there may be a point where you have to be like, do I even go back here, right? Because if we started picking up more supers, then we have to really consider like, do we actually even want do we even want like the charge? Like maybe we just finish on ammo, because it's really slow to go back to wreck ship, right?
Mhm.
But at just some point we just kind of have to like, I think there's a few ways to play it. You either like you find your power bombs, you just immediately go back and just clean up all the majors by wreck ship, because even the ones in the top of Norfair are really slow, right? You have to either like go all majors and just like, okay, I'm gonna get my go mode off the majors, or I think you just straight up abandon everything completely and you just say, I'm never going back there, it's too slow. That's another way to approach it, but I think Paf and I both decided we're gonna go back for the majors here.
You
So,
got charged,
Yeah.
I did get charged, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think when we have Varia and Wave, that's when I made my decision. I feel like I can't pass up charge then. It's just too nice. And I think I only had 5 supers, so
Yeah.
Vario's at the top of wreck ship though, right?
yeah, but so I got my power bombs at Wasteland.
Varia was at the end of. It was on the right side of East Ocean.
Wait, it was? I thought it was at the top of
No,
wreck
no,
ship.
I think that was the first map, Harley.
Oh, no.
Wait,
no,
Okay,
it's this
okay.
one?
No, Norfair.
No,
It was
wait.
at North. Oh,
Yeah.
Paf,
Oh.
I did wreck ship first.
My bad. I got confused too. My
Yeah,
bad.
right here.
Yeah.
Right here. I say is looking at Eddie's feed.
I get seed blade. Seed blade
Yeah.
too. I get seed blade. I said seed blade. I get seed
I
blade too, even as
see.
a commentator.
Okay, so Paf, you got the Norfair ones first, right? That makes sense then.
Yeah.
Then you have to make a decision. I went to
Yeah,
wreck
then
ship
you go
first, so I got all
mainstream.
that stuff,
Mhm.
and then I went to Norfair after. Idea being like, if I could skip one, I'd like to, but I know wreck ship has charge, so I'm leaning towards that one. But yeah,
Yeah.
my health situation was a little sketchy too.
Yeah, I noticed that something that kind of made this seed really trolly too was that resources were really low for most of the seed until a certain point when suddenly both of y'all just had everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have
I may
missiles for
have
30
there
minutes or
might have
something.
there may have been divergence in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of trolled by accident.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if this happened to you, Paf, but I kind of like forgot we had bombs, so I just went straight into criteria before anything else. I don't know about you, but
No, I remembered. I checked everything.
okay. So then you got into Meridia quickly, like pretty quickly, then I guess.
No, I was
Or-
turned away by a pink door, I think.
There's
And
nothing you
then
can
when
do
I
in
got
Meridia.
supers, I knew where to take them, so I just went back and did that.
Okay, so I guess in the end it's kind of the same thing. You just know where to go. Because I actually went all the way down to criteria before anything else, assuming I couldn't bomb all those doors. But I guess you just end up there anyway. So
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
yeah. Once
Did
I got to
you-
wreck ship shaft, that's when I was like, oh wait, I have bombs.
Did you YOLO down Spore Spawn supers?
No, because I
Oh,
couldn't
you
get
forgot.
there.
You forgot. That's
Yeah,
right.
I couldn't get there. Yeah. I don't like doing that.
Yeah,
Because
no.
like if you could YOLO down there, that means you could just also go down there and enter from the bottom, like almost
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
Otherwise, if you can't get out, that means you would have gotten. It's the same reason you would have gotten soft locked anyway. So I usually hate doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think these seeds were actually really interesting though.
Yeah. I thought the first one was super fun.
The first seed was weird because it's like the only instance where I'm like holding off on the Fantoonthe kill. Because like we can't
Yep.
do anything else in there.
Yeah.
I thought that was like an interesting thing to do.
Yeah. I think if
Um,
you skip Fantoonthe, it's actually not. It's kind of reasonable to, I think, to kind of gamble that nothing else is down there and you're done.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, because we didn't have the tanks to like go through that hell run
Mhm.
at the bottom right, so we were like kind of done there. So I had 5 missiles, but I'm like, well, I don't really need to do this right now. I mean, I can get some more information, but I'm gonna come back after a little
Yeah.
bit probably. So
Yeah, same. When did you find Grav in the first seed?
I found that extremely quickly.
I felt like I
basically
found it pretty
blinded
quick.
into it.
but-
I blinded really fast into it, and then I got it with like 10 HP with some pause abuse.
Yeah.
So I felt good about it.
Yeah. Okay. I struggled a little bit with the jump.
It was not easy. I was able to pull it off like pretty cleanly, but one small mistake I would have died for sure. So
Oh yeah.
I do think that was one of Paf's first setbacks. Is I believe the first time you got Grav, you died and had to go back.
Oh yeah, I was trying to check the top right door, and I was praying it wasn't a
Right.
super door because I don't have supers.
yeah.
And I mentally told myself, because I could feel my hands are not responding to me. I mentally said, okay, if it's a super door, just fall to the left. We have time to bomb, get to the hell station, and then I just fell right and insta died.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah. That sequence was really difficult, actually. The first seed made you do a lot of really difficult things, I feel like.
oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
so crazy. I just with the little resources that you had, it's like you really had to lean into the pause abuse stuff, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that was so wild.
I think the interesting thing about the first seed is eventually Paf and I go back to Main Street. We go to get the Fantoonthe kill, right?
Mhm.
And I think the interesting thing there is essentially it's like a dragon's like lair, right? Of just the goodies, right? Just X's and O's, and there's like one
Christmas
major in the
morning.
bottom left, right? And like I feel like what that seed was about was like, how much do you take from the lair before you say, okay, I gotta go now, right? And like it was like hard. I'm like staring at it. I'm like, oh my god, there's so much stuff here, right? But you know, I was just like, I'm not gonna get that major. I'm gonna try to take the least that I can and get out of here as fast as possible.
I don't
So-
think I took that much. I'd
Yeah.
have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that I think Charge was down there, right? If I remember correctly, in Main Street.
I do not remember. It might have been.
I got the one major in Main
Yeah.
Street, and then I think I pretty much just pieced out.
I think I got like a
few.
few X's that were kind of on the way, but I didn't go out of my way for extra loot if I remember correctly. And there were supers at the end of the game, so it kind of worked out that way. But if you just kind of grabbed everything, I think it would have ended up wasting time.
Yeah.
So there were some choices, definitely like some micro decisions that you have to make in that one, which I thought were really interesting. I like both of these seeds. I thought they were really cool.
Yeah,
Also
they were
not the easiest to play.
Cool. No, they were definitely not. They were really hard, and they were super cool to watch, though. I thought it was interesting the charge was so early in both seeds too. That's kind of something I'm just kind of realized too. Um, I don't know how I would handle that. I feel like
Yeah,
so often I don't see charge at all.
it's interesting when you find charge early, because unless you also find the gravity early, you kind of still need to think about picking up like the X's, right? But once you have like charge and Varia, then suddenly like you can turn your brain off a little bit. You'll pick up the ones that are like right next to you, right? But you're not like really routing in any of the X's anymore, because you know you have a way to kill Ridley regardless. So you're more major focused at that point. So that I think that's where it gets kind of interesting. At the beginning of the game, we see charge like instantly, so it's like on your mind the whole time.
Yeah, cool seeds.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys had any more questions, but I feel like I feel like we kind of we got to like talk a little bit about the seeds too.
Yeah, which I think is good. I think it's good. Those were two really exciting seeds, y'all. GG's, Eddie. GG's, Path.
Yeah, GG's.
GG.
And so I think that's gonna wrap us up for the day. Eddie, you are going to continue along the upper gold bracket and be facing up against Nebdi next.
Oh yeah.
And that's gonna be a wild one for sure.
Yeah.
Nebdi's been playing a lot of RuneScape in preparation for this, so you better watch out. I did see the Diddy Kong racing up, so I do think you're doing your own level of good practice. So I'm very excited to see the performance between y'all.
Nevdi kind of ruined the story, you know. I'm supposed to meet up Oates and the thing, and this guy is so greedy, right? Because in the last tournament Nevdi and Oates played, they had a crazy match, probably one of the craziest sets of all time, right? And Nevdi beat Oates there too, right? So like, I don't know what his problem is by having to take another dub here and like ruining Oates and I facing off anyway. But you know, if he wants to insert himself into the story and play me, then I'm gonna have to take him out in the next round.
Did you ever at any point in the match consider throwing so you could face Oates in the lower bracket?
You know, my pride is too high for that, so no, I'm not going to. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna send Nevdi to the lower bracket on the next one. That's the plan.
Okay, yeah, give Oates another shot at redemption then.
Yeah,
Potentially.
yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like that plan. It's a very good one.
Eddie truly is for the people, for real. Well, GG's everybody. Path, you're gonna go on to the lower gold bracket. I'm actually not sure who you're gonna be facing up against, but I'm excited to see what it'll be, or to see who you'll be facing up against.
Yeah, more
He's up
matches.
against Cruel Beans or Everett or Immit, and that's gonna be fun.
Oh, I would love to see Path versus Emmett. That sounds like it's gonna be a ton of fun.
Yeah, Emmett's pretty scary. Like, he can get some of those seeds where maybe you get Varia early, you just turn your brain off and play. He's very, very scary.
Brain off play. Yeah, that's his style, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mean it like
brain
that.
off play.
Well, you heard it here. So maybe ban Varia if you're doing an item draft against Emmett.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there then. What do you say, Bastion?
I'm good with wrapping it up. I think that we covered everything that we needed to cover. I think we talked about these seeds, and gosh, was it really, really super exciting. Thank you, SGL, for putting on and hosting the tournament and everything like that. It's been a blast so far. The tournament is far from over. There's more matches ahead. And thank you to the Map Rando development team for, being the masterminds that put this whole thing together. And thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Path, for a really great set of matches here today. And everybody in chat, please be sure to follow Eddie, and please be sure to Path. Please be sure to follow Path. Not Path's name is not a verb. I'm sorry, Path. Please be sure to follow Eddie. Please be sure to follow Path. And also, I want a little shout out I want to give a little shout out to Teddy there for attempting to sabotage the interview. That was adorable.
Star of the show. Yeah, I was trying to steal the microphone. That was very cute.
That's what he does.
All right, I think that's going to be all of us here. I think that's going to be it. Please be sure to follow the runners, follow all the SGL channels. The Map Rando tournament is far from over. The lower brackets are filling up with folks too. There's going to be a lot of really exciting matches there as well. So, be sure to follow all the channels. And I think that's going to be it for us. I've been Bastion Blue, and this is Harley Hart. And Rubu has been our tracker. Thank you once again, Rubu. And we'll see you again soon. Next mission.
Bye-bye.